Hi everybody, I'm David. Welcome to my channel, My Yard Sale. Hey, today I want to talk just a little bit about what my last week has been like in my, let's just say, keto cycles. I definitely go back and forth between carnivore to ketovore, and this week I would say has been more ketovore than carnivore. I would like to eat more meat, but for some reason this week was more keto. And by keto, I'm not specifically eating keto as in not eating meat or eating more meat. I'm eating keto as in 100 grams or less of carbs. And honestly, pretty much everything else goes. I just eat less than 100 grams of carbs. And if I want to eat the rest of my food and cookies, I would do that, which I obviously haven't. But I could fill up on meat. I could fill up on chicken patties. I could fill up on anything I want as long as I'm not eating more than 100 grams of carbs. So that to me is what eating keto is. And quite frankly, I can live with that. It doesn't make me starve. I'm not starving. I'm not wishing I was eating some other way. I'm able to eat and able to stay happy. So I am eating some carbs, not too much, but some carbs. Just like I said, under that 100 grams. And quite frankly, when I start getting more inflammation, I'll take that 100 grams and crank it down to 25 or even 10 grams. And at some point, I may even switch completely to carnivore and not eat carbs at all. I don't really necessarily enjoy that, but I definitely do that. So in the last week, I've had the weirdest thing with just dry skin, even though I drink so much water. I'm sure it probably has to do with the fact that it's been chilly, so I'm in bed sometimes under heated blankets and I don't know, maybe that's it. Maybe it's just the heated blankets drying my skin out. But I've had the worst thing with dry skin lately. And of course, dry skin is itchy skin. So I've been drinking so much water trying to keep up with my water. So again, I am eating some carbs. Just again, I'm trying to not micromanage it, but manage it pretty closely. I don't want to get to a point where I'm just eating as many carbs as I want, even though again I'm not afraid of eating carbs. Just that for me, it happens to be that when I am eating carbs, it's not the healthiest carbs generally. So I try to keep myself reeled way down. Now in the last week, I've had some changes in my body that I feel like are notable, but it's hard to tell. I'm starting to feel stronger. I have my Apple Watch that I'm keeping track of my steps, so I'm trying to increase my steps every day. Um, but physically, I'm feeling stronger. Like I'm starting to get some muscle. I'm finally starting to put some muscle on my legs and my around my thighs mostly, not necessarily my calves, but my biceps are starting to get a little bit thicker. I'm starting to feel a little bit stronger, but the strange thing is that as my as my calves like slowly start feeling stronger and bigger, the bones that attach all these parts of my body that feel stronger, the bones, like the joints, are very tender and feel uncomfortable. So it's not like my joints aren't snapping quite as much as they were before, even though they still do. I don't know if you could hear that, but they still do snap, but not quite as much as before. But my joints, even though again, like I said, my muscle feels like it's getting bigger. I can see my biceps getting bigger. I can see my forearms getting bigger. I can see my thighs getting bigger. Not necessarily my calves, but all the joints that are attaching those muscles together, are very tender, and in some cases they feel stiff. Like I could probably do a more structured stretch. I just haven't been able to do that. I'm afraid that if I get on the ground, I'm not going to be able to get back up. So I am starting to feel a little bit stronger. I'm trying to force myself to walk more. I try to walk like, and I know this sounds weak, but I try to walk at least 1,000 steps a day. In most cases, I'm up to that. There's been a couple of days when I've been a little bit less, but I'm trying to get up to 1,000. And then once I hit 1,000 regularly, then I'll start trying to add more and try to just walk generally more. I'm currently not eating burger patties. Even though I crave them, I haven't been eating burger patties. Soon I hope to be. I'll tell you what I am eating mostly is a lot of protein pea powder. Like I've gotten really used to eating pea protein powder shakes, and I actually do enjoy them. They're not horrible. I enjoy them, but I would rather eat something else. It's just been so hard for me to cook stuff. Like my hands just don't totally work right, and it's just hard for me to cook stuff with my hands just not working right. It kind of sucks. I hate it. But I am starting to get some minor stuff done around the house, which I'm happy about that. Like cleaning up a little bit, just trying to organize a tiny bit. Like I'm starting to try to do that stuff, whereas before I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to do it, so I just didn't do it. So I'm happy to start getting a few things around the house done a little bit easier. Now, I don't know if it's because my body is actually, like I said, I'm gaining some weight, I'm building some muscle, and I don't know if my body is like haunting me with that. But man, I have been craving sugar. Like I would eat a whole box of cookies if I could. So I've been craving sugar, and what I've been eating instead is pea protein powder shakes with sweetener. And somehow that seems to be holding me off enough that I haven't just broken down and bought some Pop Tarts or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know if that's because my body is just craving the sugar to try to build muscle, or if my brain is just haunting me to eat sugar. I don't know. So again, I have the Apple Watch, and I've been monitoring it pretty close. Every day I monitor it pretty close, and I'm trying to add more steps every day to my daily, my daily regimen, I guess I could call it. It's not really a workout. It's more of like just forcing myself to get up and go to the other end of the house and get more water out of the refrigerator instead of just going to the bathroom and pouring it out of the bathroom sink. Um, like I get a lot of my steps during the day when I get to the other end of my house and cook some food. So it does seem like I'm starting to build some muscle, but it's like as my muscle builds up, it's causing those joints in my body to like not like they work right but not great. Like it's not easy to put on a pair of sweatpants when your knees don't bend right, and you just your body just isn't working right. It's pretty difficult. Trying to put a trying to put a, a shirt on, like a long sleeve shirt on, is extremely difficult when your arms don't really go into the thing right. It's like they just don't go in right, and it just doesn't work right. It's been very difficult. Now, one thing that's started happening in the last, I don't know, 7 to 14 days is, oh my gosh, I sleep so hard. Like when I finally fall asleep at night, ugh, I'm sleepy right now. I'm out cold all night long and I dream so hard. And I find myself falling asleep a lot of times with um, either music on or listening to some YouTube thing or some video or something. I find myself falling asleep. But when I finally do fall asleep, I am just out cold. And sometimes for like even now, I woke up today at I don't know 11:30, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I literally slept all the way to that time. It's like my body it needs to sleep for whatever so that it can hopefully it's building these joints back and making it so my elbows will work right and my knees will work right soon. But I was sleeping so hard that my neck got like a critch in it that like it didn't hurt necessarily, but it definitely didn't feel great. Like I have a sore spot in my neck that I have to be really careful when I'm monkeying around in the house trying to get things done that I don't like tweak it and the last thing I need is to not be able to get around because my neck is too stiff. My hand neuropathy, even though my elbows maybe are starting to feel a little bit better. I feel like I said I have a little bit more strength in my hands. I have a little bit more strength in my biceps. Um, but the neuropathy in my hands is still pretty bad. Like trying to hold on to something, I have to be very careful not to drop things. And I guess that's how it is for everybody. But for me, it's like I do have to be very careful not to drop things that I'm literally holding in my hand. Like sometimes I have to try to hold it with two hands because if I have it in one hand, I can drop it and it'll just fall right out of my hand. Sometimes I don't even know that it's falling out of my hand before it falls out of my hand. So this week with weather, it's been one of those crazy upstate New York weeks. Like it's 30 or 40 degrees at night and then 70 or 80 degrees during the day. Like this is maybe, I think, good weather. And I know that when it gets up to 70 or 80 degrees, there's people around where I live popping on the air conditioner, which I don't think I'll ever need an air conditioner again after this last year. It was so cold. But the weather's kind of nice where I live now. Finally, I'm just looking forward to getting into nice warm days, and the longer days are nice, even though I'm spending a lot of time sleeping during those days. Hey, if you have any questions on anything that I said, do me a favor. Put them below. I do respond to all comments or questions. I'm interested to hear what you folks are thinking. So yeah, I'm like thinking about what I'm gonna buy for food this next go around. I have a feeling I'm gonna be eating a lot of luncheon meat, very lean luncheon meat. I'm trying to do my best to not order cookies, but I don't know, that might happen. Although I feel like I have more willpower to not eat them all this time. I can actually span it out over a couple of days, couple of weeks, instead of just chowing down on cookies. One of the things that's been happening with my body in the last, I don't know, week and a half that's, I would say strange, or it's unusual because it's not something that I'm dealing with all the time. But I had mentioned weeks back that I had strength in my spine, or like I had feelings in my spine. And even though I feel like I'm starting to build some strength and build a little bit of girth, like sitting up in my bed, like just literally sitting up, like my spine just doesn't seem to have the strength to to do that as easy as it should. So when I sit up in bed, I have to kind of like try to slide over to the edge and sort of shimmy out of bed. I can't just sit up throw the covers off, and get out. It doesn't work like that. And I totally don't understand that completely, but it seems like it's sort of resolving a little bit. But yeah, sitting up in bed or even just sitting up in general, like the bendy part of my spine just doesn't seem to be working completely correct. I don't remember all the other things that have happened this week. It's been a long week. But if I do, I might add it. I might add more to this post either later or add a couple more posts later this week to just talk about some of this other stuff. Because all this stuff has been coming fast and hard, and trying to keep track of it all has been pretty difficult. My whole day is just trying to make sure that I have the strength to do the very few things I need to do, and getting things done in the day. But primarily what I'm focused on is getting my walking steps up and getting around my house a little bit easier. So that is what I'm focused on, getting the steps. Trying to get at least 1,000 steps every day or more. Some days I get a little bit more. There has been a couple days a little bit less, but trying to keep those steps up, that's giving me focus on my day and what I can do. Like I know that if I have a couple minutes and I'm not doing anything, I'll get up and walk to the other end of my house or walk around my house even a couple times. And the steps, I feel like the steps are maybe helping me. Of course, that makes sense, right? A little bit of exercise makes a lot of sense, but being able to monitor it and manage it makes it much easier than just walking from one end of my house to the other and not accomplishing anything or knowing whether I achieved anything. It's much easier to see the achievement on this watch. So I am thankful for this watch for that. If you have any questions on anything else on the watch, on this Apple Watch that I have, like I said before, leave it below and I'll be more than happy to answer. Hope you guys are all having a great day. Hope you're having a great Easter holiday weekend. Hopefully you caught my Easter bunny video this week, because I was the Easter bunny. Yes, I was the Easter bunny many, many years ago. So happy Easter, happy weekend. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye, everybody. Bye.